A 21-year-old Texas man is accused of kidnapping, assaulting, beating and starving a woman he met over the internet. On the 29th of December, Harris County deputies responded to an emergency call regarding a female patient who was a victim of an assault at the Houston Methodist Spring Emergency Center. The woman told investigators that on the 24th of December, she was matched up with Zachary Kemp Mills on a dating app called Bumble. He picked her up from her home, and they drove back to his apartment at 8011 Augusta Pines Drive in Spring, Texas. The woman said he tried to have intercourse with her as soon as they arrived, but when she refused, he physically began assaulting her and would not let her leave the residence. He would strike her with a clenched fist and bite her on the face and neck. When his hands became tired from hitting her, he'll grab a screwdriver and hit her with a handle instead, causing her serious injuries. She said she made several attempts to leave the apartment, but each time Zachary would stop her and assault her. She said that over the 5 days that she was held against her will, Zachary refused to provide her with food or water. She told the investigators that she was eventually able to get out when Zachary left the apartment to go to his father's home. She grabbed her clothes and ran out of the door and contacted the police. She identified Zachary from his driver's license photo, which was shown to her by detectives. She was transported to the emergency care center, where medical personnel said she sustained severe bruising to both eyes, bite marks and cuts to her throat and nose, and severe bruising to the majority of her body. On the 30th of December, Zachary was arrested and charged with aggravated kidnapping. He was released after posting a $50,000 bond and is currently on house arrest. A Hammond, Louisiana woman fatally shot a home intruder after allegedly broke into a home armed with a shovel and a lug wrench. At around 5 a.m. on Sunday the 8th of January, deputies from the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office went to a home on Klein Road on reports of shots fired. Investigators learnt that 51-year-old Robert Reams had reportedly forced his way into a home where a mother and her 2 children lived. Robert and the woman, whose name remains anonymous, reportedly got into a physical altercation, which ended with the woman shooting him. The Tangipahoa Parish coroner declared him dead at the scene. Authorities said that Robert was out on parole after serving 20 years in prison for armed robbery. He's also believed to have been involved in the carjacking that same night he was killed. Chief Jimmy Trevor said the shooting appears to be a homeowner exercising her Second Amendment rights to protect herself and her children from a violent home invasion. There have been no arrests in this case. A woman named Helen Tarwater, claiming to have known Robert, posted a message on the Sheriff's Office Facebook page. She said, "First off, I'm in no way protecting him or other things he did. I worked with him, and he really was trying to turn his life around, but unfortunately, the streets were still running through his veins. I helped him out with work clothes and dress-up clothes. It's tragic what happened to the homeowner and her babies, and I justify what she did to protect her and them. It's a sad situation all around, and in the end of it all, she's okay and so are her babies. He did a horrible thing, and he can only answer to God now for his sins. I'll do the same thing she did if he broke into my house also," she said. "32-year-old Dante McRae is accused of fatally shooting his fiancee, 31-year-old Carla O'Neill, over the weekend, who was pregnant with his child. At 6:51 p.m. on Sunday the 8th of January, the authorities were called to a parking lot outside the Amazon Fulfillment Center warehouse on 9800 217th Street West in Lakeville, Minnesota on reports of a person down. When officers arrived, they found Carla suffering from a gunshot wound to her neck. She was rushed to the Hennepin County Medical Center, where she succumbed to her injuries. Doctors, however, delivered her son Messiah via emergency cesarean section, who's clinging to life and is on a ventilator. At the scene, officers spoke to Dante, who learnt was Carla's significant other and the father of a newborn. Dante was distraught and said he and Carla had been arguing most of the day because she learnt that he had another child with another woman while Carla was pregnant. Dante said that he was at his mother's home and Carla picked him up to drop him off at work at the Amazon facility. However, once there, he realised he had guns in his bags and wanted to clear them of any live rounds so they'll be safe around his kids. As he started to clear the guns in the parking lot, he told officers the gun accidentally fired and shot Carla in the neck. Carla's family told officers that they'd seen interactions between Dante and Carla earlier that day, and her mother, Katina O'Neill, was called over to the home because one of Carla's kids said Dante was getting aggressive with Carla. Carla allegedly broke up with Dante. Carla reportedly said she didn't want to be bothered with him and that he had to go. She also said that the newborn would not have his name either. The pair allegedly got into an altercation, and Kyla broke his phone. Katina told officers that she saw the two arguing over Kyla's keys, and she had to break them up after Dante rushed Kyla. She also stated that Dante threatened to kill Kyla if she had another man around his kids, and told her and her family you'll ain't bulletproof, before he went to his mother's house just over an hour before the shooting. Surveillance video from the parking lot shows that as Kyla was reparking in the lot, she briefly reversed the car and bumped into Dante before the shooting. When officers talked to Dante again, he admitted he was angry that the car door hit him when Kyla reversed, so he pointed the gun at her and fired, although he claimed he didn't know there was still a round in the chamber. Another person told officers that Dante is very well acquainted with firearms and knows how to disassemble them, while Kyla also had taken gun safety classes, so she wouldn't have needed his help to clear live ammunition out of the gun. Dante has been charged with Kyla's murder and is at the Dakota County Jail on a $2 million bond. If the baby does not survive, additional charges will be filed in relation to the baby's death. Dante was ordered by a judge last year not to possess any firearms due to a criminal conviction. Katina said she's focusing her thoughts on baby Messiah's healing. I need him to pull through this. I want him to. I can't lose both of them, she said. Kyla is survived by a newborn and 3 other children aged 10, 7 and 2. 2 of her children were fathered by Dante.